And with that being said, Amazon leading the series, this best of 5 series, 2-1. And wow, some really awesome play coming out from Akaix. And I mean, I really don't blame John Oldman for, losing so many workers over there. Akaix's harassment was a little bit unorthodox. You don't generally see, for example, the 2 Reaper opening into Hellion harassment with the medevac drops, and then the potential he could have gone for Banshee harassment, but no, instead he decides to go for Thor drops and Widowmine drops and just constantly putting on that harassment. Finally, toward the end of it, John Oldman was able to get up those mules, start fending off that aggression, but at that point he had just lost a little bit too much, and Akaix was able to take the game. So with that being said, we're going to jump into game number 4. This could be the match point game, as, if Amazon wins one more game, they will in fact win the entire best of 7 or 5 series. But, of course, I'm sure that Facebook has some nice things planned out, and honestly, my second favorite matchup is coming up. I told you Protoss versus Terran is my favorite matchup. Protoss versus Protoss is my second favorite matchup. Now, I know what you guys might be thinking. It's a mirror matchup. How can you... Fear Dragon, how can you love a mirror matchup? I'll tell you why. Protoss vs. Protoss has the most interesting gameplay up until about 2 base, and then it just turns into Colossus Wars. But with Heart of the Swarm, you have a lot of other interesting things going on now in the late game as well. So you have all the Tempest transitions, you have Phoenixes starting to make a comeback, as well as even Void Rays and Oracle harassment, all kinds of crazy stuff. And yeah, just letting them know that I'm ready. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and say that the match is going to be Cicero from Team Amazon versus Winkletoss from Team Facebook. And this time, I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, they're both playing Protoss. I got the races right this time, for once. Oh my god. Okay, and with that being said, the game is about to get started. Players are tossing out the GLHF. I'm going to go ahead and update the score screen, as it is going to be... Oh, no, hold on. There we go. Yeah, I got the right score screen up. So we have Amazon leading 2-1. Oh, hold that thought. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump in and introduce these players. Spawning up here. In the top left-hand corner of this map, we have the red Protoss player. Representing Team Facebook is going to be Facebook's Winkletoss. And this could often be misconstrued as Wrinkletoss, as, you know, John Oldman, Wrinkletoss, even though Facebook is often thought of as a newer company, really they have a lot of the old geezers there. And in the bottom right-hand corner, his opponent, spawning as the blue Protoss player, is going to be representing Team Amazon, is going to be Amazon's Cicero. And I've been actually yelled at him by him so many times, but I can never remember how to pronounce his name. If it's Cicero or Cicero, or I guess, how would you even pronounce it if you sounded out the C? Kikero? Kikero? I'm gonna call him Kikero. No, I'm not gonna. That's actually a little bit too difficult. Kikero has a very difficult pronunciation to it. But regardless, we do end up seeing a 12 gateway coming out of Cicero. Oh, actually, no. Oh my god, is that a 10 gate? We actually might have a 10 gate coming out of Cicero. And that could actually mean that he's just going for a very big 3 gate all in. And this is kind of like a 4 gate, but it's on 3 gateways and you do it a lot earlier. And this could actually seriously catch Wrinkletoss completely off guard, because I mean, a lot of players are now experimenting and saying, hey, you know what, I don't actually have to worry that much about the 4 gate anymore. I can get out the Mothership Core. The Mothership Core has just been proving fantastic for holding off all kinds of early aggression, but the question of when a Protoss should get out that Mothership Core has still kind of been up in the air lately. Nobody has really just figured out this really key timing. Oh shoot, I forgot to turn off my PMs. Cicero, well, it's called Cicero, but I'm going to call him Cicero because it annoys him. I'm just kidding. So Cicero will be able to get in there possibly before his opponent has actually even created that Mothership Core. So he won't have the ability to use that Photon Overcharge to try and defend against that big early aggression. And that could really cause a lot of problems unless Wrinkletoss is really well prepared for this. Now, it looks like he did end up scouting in over here. He should have seen that the gateway was very, very early, but the question is, did he realize it? He could have seen it, but does he realize it? And it looks like he's starting to get 2 gas geysers up and is going to go ahead and get up that Cybernetics Core. not mining fully off of both those gas geysers, just doing what I like to call a Naniwa build, where you put 2 guys in each gas geyser, and this allows you to get up a little bit of extra gas, just because I think that 2 workers in a gas geyser mine about 80% efficiency, or 70% efficiency, somewhere around there, and the 3rd worker doesn't actually mine at the same rate as the 3rd. And oh my god! Oh, Cicero, you're just throwing down that pylon, and he's scaring Wrinkle Toss. I mean, there's no chance of Warp Gate technology actually being finished up in time for this pylon, but this actually could be... Oh, he's still mining gas. Yeah, he's still mining gas. I was about to say, there's something called a Korean 4 Warp Gate, where you actually stop mining gas and you just start building pylons in your opponent's base and try and warp in some zealots. But we do actually end up seeing Cicero has already moved in his first zealot. He's going to try and deal some damage to Wrinkle Toss's first zealot, and does not manage to take it out. All those pylons to get taken out without a cancel, actually. That's actually a huge mistake, but we see additional pylons going up. The Warp Gate technology is going to be finishing up. There are 4 gateways already done, and he's now just taken one of those guys off of gas, and we're going to be seeing some very, very scary moments over here for Wrinkle Toss. He is not prepared for this. He needs additional gateways up. He's going to have a second stalker up. He's starting to warp in a couple of those units. A couple of those zealots are going to come in, and these probes are going to be very much in danger. There are only 16 probes out for Cicero, though, so, you know, Wrinkle Toss can afford to lose a couple of those units. One of the stalkers gets taken out from Cicero, and the zealot actually is going to get taken out as well. Only a probe left over and these 2 pylons. So Wrinkle Toss is showing some magnificent micro, and he's really just showing he is going to actually be prepared to hold this off. A couple more units going to be morphed in, just 2 stalkers to try and deal with Wrinkle Toss's stalkers, but another stalker pops out from a Wrinkle Toss. He should actually be able to win this, as Cicero is now microing back his stalker. Does actually, oh, Wrinkle Toss doing a great job microing that back. This zealot really hating his life and trying to run away from those other 2 zealots, just getting completely ganged up on, and ends up losing that zealot. This stalker is going to go and retreat, and the final pylon does go down, and there are no longer any bases left inside of Wrinkle Toss's base that belong to Cicero. That was a confusing statement, but basically the pylons are gone, and Cicero is going to have to find some way to transition. Now, this is the really hard part. Look at this. 13 workers on minerals and 3 on gas. He is so low on workers, 17 workers versus the 21 of his opponent. And you might be thinking, well, that doesn't seem that bad. Well, you also have to realize that, I mean, at this point, Wrinkle Toss has a larger army. He can go ahead and expand at this point, honestly. As long as he feels comfortable knowing that Cicero is not about to do another follow-up all-in, he can go ahead and expand and just benefit off of that much larger economy and just let this game spiral out of control into his favor. It doesn't actually look like he's opting to do that, though. He's just actually adding on 2 gateways. He's going to follow it up with his own 4 gate, and it's going to be an interesting decision. I'm not sure exactly how this will end up going, as, I mean, Cicero does have that, in fact, sentry over there. He's gotten up the robotic facility. He should actually be able to force hold off this army for quite a bit of time, especially if he gets up a mothership core. He should be able to at least keep that army at bay for a while, especially if it tries to move up into his main base. And it looks like it's going to be an observer coming up, but oh no, Cicero really just not been warping anything, and everything gets into the main, and oh man, he whiffs the force field. All of these units are going to come into the main, and even though there are 4 gateways, there isn't even enough minerals to actually warp in anything, but just pure zealots, really. At this point, she's going to go after those stalkers. It's a wise decision, but the remaining stalkers are going to come up. A single stalker from Cicero is going to come up, and there is the sad face from Mechatoad, one of Amazon's players. And Cicero trying to fend back all of this army, but it's just not going to be enough. And there's going to be the GG, or I should say, yeah, there's the GG from Cicero, and Wrinkle Toss takes it for Team Amazon.